Is your phone? Your phone? Ready to roll?
Yeah. Hey,
Okay,
I'm
man.
Doug Rice.
Roy Hartness, SeaArk Pro Staff. I run a Dynasty 2.0, which we're going to go over shortly.
I'm going to stand here and ask some questions about this here fine boat.
Oh, man. You know, you've been running these boats a long time, Doug, so I know your
A
knowledge
long
is great.
time. I've only had my experience with the Dynasty maybe a handful of times,
Right.
and there's a lot of interesting things about this boat that makes it totally different than a Pro Cat.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. And you've been running a 240 for years and a lot of experience on
Absolutely.
it.
I love
Right.
it. I love it. But we got a lot of information we want to hand out to the customers, and we're going to get ready to start on that pretty quick here. So, Roy, tell me a little bit about this Dynasty. You run a Dynasty. You've ran it in several years in tournaments. What do you think about the boat?
Man, it's the best boat I've been in. I really enjoy this boat, love this boat. Being a tournament angler, being able to, when the conditions get rough, I feel confident, I feel safe. It's just a great, great boat with all these features. You know, you got the reverse chime, you know, it really gets it up, throws water away from you, keeps you
So
dry.
that's what that does, right? It
Just-
throws the water away.
Right.
I see. Makes it smoother.
Smoother,
Absolutely.
drier,
Drier.
right,
Faster.
faster.
I like that.
Right.
Everybody likes to go fast.
Right. You know, you got the Euro transom on the rear.
Yeah.
You know,
That's really interesting.
right.
Yeah.
Keeps it a lot safer, you know, when those conditions are right and you got those waves, you got, you know, just like I say, when the conditions aren't perfect, you can go out there in this boat, you know,
Yeah.
using good judgment.
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's getting busy in here.
It's getting busy, man. We got a lot of folks coming check out
But-
the boats, man. Been a great day.
Yes. We are at the 2024 Catfish Conference, and it's been a great weekend. Lots of people. What do you think attracts everybody to this boat?
Man, it's just a cool looking boat. You know, Alex has got it rigged out. I mean,
He does.
He always knows how to get it just right and just perfect. And he's perfectionist. You know, he's got to have it all just right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good. But yeah, another thing about the boat is the live well. It's got a bigger live well.
Bigger live well
than the Pro Cat series.
Right. That's one thing I really like about it. You know, nowadays when you're running further in these tournaments, you know, there's trailering events. You got a 115-gallon live well, dual pumps, great drain, great aeration system, and it makes them. It's safer on these fish. Keeps these fish alive. You know, if you treat these fish right and you got this live well, it's deeper. I feel like a deeper live well helps you. You keep that water clean. You can change it out quickly throughout the day with those double pumps pumping in. It's just a great asset. You know, if one pump goes down, you still have that other pump. You know, how you can get trash in a pump
right.
on the rivers and stuff. But great boat.
And there's a step in there that's looks very utilitarian. It's got storage in that step?
Right. You got great storage in that step. I'm going to step inside in just a little bit and go over that. But they've got, you know, I keep my weights, bogas, everything kind of keeps it out of the way. And when you need it, grab a weight out, and you're ready to go.
That's nice. And what about this windshield?
Man, that's another great asset. You know, keeps you dry.
Right.
You got the window.
And comfortable.
All right. And comfortable. Yeah.
Yes.
Dry and warm. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I've been going down the river and see, you know, the wind just blasting you in my old boats. But now with the new Pro Cat windshields are awesome.
Right.
It's taken from some of the Dynasty. You know, it's built heavy, big glass, easy to see out of. And I'll tell you what, you can hide some electronics in there.
Oh, yeah, man. He's got them tucked in there nicely. We're going to get in there in a little while and go over those. But, man, it's just a great boat.
I'll tell you what else is impressive is the color of these boats, some of the color schemes on these
Right.
boats and the graphic packages set this boat off. I mean,
Right.
we've been getting a lot of views on this boat this weekend, and I tell you what, it's a beautiful boat.
Right.
And I helped clean it up.
Oh yeah, that's why it's nice and shiny, Doug.
I mean,
Little polishing.
Alex got a free detail, boat detail.
Right.
I don't know if that's right or not. I don't have to ask for a return favor, but
I think Alex got a wax boat. We waxed
He
it, got
did.
it nice and shiny.
I tell you, come out smelling like a rose, didn't he?
Right. I think he even had a skipjack laying on the motor. And I had to polish
Well, he
that out.
probably did. You know, I tell you another interesting thing about this boat is these bars here. You can
Right.
add a lot of accessories to these bars. It looks like
Right.
he's got some live scope stuff going on with it.
Right. You know, he's got his cornfield crappie with his Garmin live scope attached here. And you got the rails,
Oh,
which
yeah.
make it great for attaching. You don't have to drill any holes anywhere. You can clamp it right on the rail. You can put rod holders on the rail if you wish
yeah.
to. I mean, you can do, there's numerous things you can do. He's got his multi-bars on this big back deck. You know, sometimes
yeah.
we call it a bumping deck. It's great. You know how you get a fish on and you need to step to the back of the boat.
Absolutely.
The bars kind of protect you, keep your feet, you know where you're at, and you can get up, grab that
Oh,
fish.
yeah.
You're not trying to reach over a bunch of things.
Yeah, that's nice. I'll tell you what. And then battery compartments in there, huge,
Man.
huge batteries.
You can put I've got 6 batteries in the back of my 2.0.
That's amazing.
2 chargers, and you could somebody could lay on top of them and close the lid.
I'm sure.
And this sea deck from Castaway Customs, man.
I'll tell you, they
It's
do
awesome.
amazing work.
Yeah,
Castaway
man,
Customs, top notch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I can't get over the build quality of these either.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everything's nice.
right.
It's really built well.
Right.
It's also set up for like a full enclosure. You got all the snaps here. You can.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be just like a cabin in the wintertime. Put a little
Right.
heater or something in there.
Yeah, you can come in here on this boat, put your sides on. You can put a back panel on if you wish to. You know, if it's
Yeah.
just not terribly cold, you put the sides on, keep the rain out when, you know, in winter months or cooler months, and keep it nice and dry
Right.
fish, you know.
Nice.
He's
Fish in
even
the
got
wintertime. The accessory rail is impressive
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, well, these little track bases, man,
Yes.
you can add so much and do so much with this boat.
I'll tell you what. The another thing, it's got the front end of the boat is also important as well. We got a self-draining front deck.
Right.
That's really nice.
That's real nice, you know.
You know, you're throwing your cast net for bait or whatever, take a little wave over the front or something. Hey,
Yep.
it happens. But that's a very nice feature right here. And
Right.
windshield wipers, visibility 100%.
Right.
Love it.
And
He's
this
got.
cockpit really seals that
yeah.
up, keeps all that water out.
It does too. I tell you, that is a very, very nice feature of this boat. Keep you dry and comfortable and safe. Yeah. Tell you what, there's all kinds of storage up here too, as
Right.
well. It's full of stuff.
Yeah.
Alex's stuff.
Alex's stuff.
We're going. He might get mad at us. We go through his stuff. But yeah, I tell you what, it's 100%
Right.
bad to the bone.
You got your anchor locker up front.
Oh yeah.
Also, man, you know, makes it great. Keeps that anchor out of the way. You know,
With a
with your
rope pull,
cutout,
yeah.
with your cutout, you know, just boat's really set up, you know, with your rod locker comes up through the middle, keeps your rods
I'll
out
tell
of the
you
way,
what.
traveling, or if you know, you can lock it up. You're at a tournament and you want to lock everything up, you can lock everything up in the boat.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
Got this nice power pole move PV trolling motor, man.
I'm telling you, that thing is amazing looking. It's so compact. It's not like a lot of the other ones on the market where they're getting bigger. It's getting smaller.
Right.
And I tell you what, they say that's an impressive motor.
I've been running one for a little over a year now. And the GPS technology, I think, actually came from like drone technology. And the spot lock barely moves. It holds you right on where you're trying to fish. The power is unreal from this, and the battery consumption.
Brushless motor.
Brushless
motor. Yeah.
Brushless motor. You're looking at 30-40% minimum less use than like a non-brushless
That's
trolling motor.
amazing.
And that's huge from what we do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you're trying to slow your bumping speed down in that heavy current, it's going to take a lot of motor.
Right.
But one other thing about it is this unique front deck. The way that's curved underneath there, that has to help out with the waves.
Just kicking the water away from you now, keeping
That's
you
amazing.
on top.
I'll tell you what, the 2.0 is a game changer.
Game changer.
In tournament catfishing. But let's see. Look at this. Can you believe all this?
Alex is accessorized.
He is. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. And he's really, man, I like he's promoting all these Garmin products, great products. He's got his live scope up front. You know, you're talking about when you're catching those shad and catching that bait. Look, man, you're like, he's live scoping, seeing where they all are. I'm jealous. I got all the Garmin stuff on my boat, and I'm like, I'm going to have another one of these, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think it's going to be a game changer for the industry.
Right.
I mean, I think, you know, you got to follow the trend to keep up with what's going on. If you're a tournament catfishing, bass fishing, crappie fishing, you got to keep up with the trend or you're going to get left behind.
You know, it's changing every day. And, you know, the techniques we're having to adjust. I think fish are learning some, I mean, not learning, but they feel the pressure and they kind of like bumping. Even sometimes I wonder if they're getting used to that bumping, kind of a little more skittish and biting. And
you know,
let's keep adjusting.
I believe you're right. Because I mean, like any animal, they adapt.
They adapt.
If we adapt, they adapt.
Right.
And they know what's coming.
Right.
So, but amazing stuff here. I do like his Bimini top, that how it comes over the front windshield like that. That's pretty awesome.
I really like that because it gives you more shade. You can open the door, get that breeze through, and roll that up, and that breeze blows through there really great.
Yep, that's pretty cool stuff. That's a really, really nice top. Also, all the storage in the glove box of this thing, that's another thing that I love about the new SeaArk. All the SeaArk boats at that part, they got the huge glove box where you can put almost anything in there.
Man, you can keep everything in there, lock it up, you're safe again, like we're talking about. Keeping everything you need. I mean, I keep all my snacks, remotes, extra anything I need right in there, and it's another great asset in this boat.
It is. I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna jump
where are you
up
going?
in here. I'm leaving you, Doug.
Okay. Well, hey guys, I'm going to hand this mic off to somebody more important than me. Knows it. And HammerHead Sonar is going to take over for me.
Hey,
how's it going, man?
Doing well.
I don't know if I could discuss any of this stuff as well as you can, but we'll go at it, you know. Alex is all accessorized with these nice Garmin 12-inch units, these 8612s, man. And he's got Garmin marine radio. When you're out there on the water, if something happens, man, you can get a hold of somebody quick, and got it all wired up real nice. He has this stereo system. So Alex is just kicking back and jamming while he's out there, I guess.
Yeah, it's got pretty much everything.
Right.
He called and he's like, I've got a package of stuff that I think I've got everything. I was like, he ran down the list. I was like, yeah, you pretty much got it all.
Oh yeah. He makes me envious, you know, like, man, I need that now. I need this. And then he's got this television back here where he's watching Netflix, I guess, or Hulu. I don't know what all he's got going on back here.
That's Catchflix.
Yeah, Catchflix, yeah.
So, yeah, everything is networked together. So we're networked through the Ethernet and also through NEMA.
Oh, man.
NEMA's a little bit of an older system that's really starting to make a comeback. Right. Because you can do some things that people don't think about, like monitor your temperatures of your live wells.
Oh, wow.
Through your screens. Yeah. We haven't done that for him yet. We were kind of talking over things, but, you know, his radio's connected in, so it will come up on his maps where I think you can monitor up to 3 different ships, tugs, or barges. That's what I'm thinking of.
Right.
Yeah. So he'll be able to keep communication with them, and he was telling me that's important because you guys sometimes set up where they need to dock.
Right.
So be out ahead of all that, and
it'd be
it
great
won't be
to
as
able to
big.
communicate with them. Yes.
And if you have a problem,
Yeah.
so it's not all just show. All of it really looks good, but it's super functional.
Right.
So anything you do on any of these screens can be done from anywhere else.
Wow.
So with it all being networked, it's all tied together, and you can live scope up front. We've got the simulator on now, so let me. Let's see here. Well, so there, he can go to any of the live scopes. So without it on simulator, you're not going to see anything. It'll just be a black screen.
Right.
But he's got it labeled into his front and his rear. So as you're using the front, he said he wanted to use that for bait.
Right.
But as we've noticed with our other anglers, our crappie guys, and now our bass guys, everybody's starting to see the bass guys on the live scope now.
Right.
Crappie guys are so far out on that, so I think maybe you guys will see a need down the road that you start single fishing and targeting.
I can see it coming up, man, targeting that one big fish, especially the way tournaments are now with the number of fish, and you need that quality fish. Hey, I want to target that fish and see if I can get him to bite. Even look at how that fish is reacting to that bait, because you'll be able to see that bait and see him, and once we learn it and learn to adapt to it, which I've been working on, I've been playing with it a little bit. It's still a big learning curve for me, but I've actually seen the fish fall on a bait and just man, why will this fish not bite? And you think man, did I mark fish? Or hey, was that what I think it was? And then you look down and you can actually see a head of a skipjack at a triangle shape and a fish following it, and you're like, just bite. I mean, you might pull your hair out, if you got any left, but it's pretty cool.
Well, but it helps you to adjust. You can change line size. You'll see that things you thought the fish just weren't there, but they're there. They're just not liking the presentation or what you've got.
Right. And give you confidence. I know he's there. I know what I'm looking at. I just need him to bite. I actually was on Wheeler Lake running a live scope, playing with it a few years ago, and had a fish looking at the bait, dropped a sinker on, the bottom of the boat, boom, and seen how sensitive those fish were to sound. I mean, he's going like I dropped a stick of dynamite. I'm like, whoa, now I know I need to be quiet. I've got to keep my noise down in this boat.
Yeah. Yeah, your grandpa was right when he said just be quiet. My probably wanted me to quit talking, but we're noticing all kinds of different stuff like that.
Right. But he's back here at the back of the boat.
Yep. We did. We've got his refrigerator wired in, for his bait.
Oh man,
bait. I think there's some drinks in there right now. But once again, this is all functional, so you can go to everything from here.
Right.
So you can see your charts. Go back to sonar. Let's stop here. One of the functions that I really like that Garmin's just teamed up with PowerPole is where you can come on and now you can operate your poles from your screen.
Oh, shoot.
Which, I mean, that makes a big difference now.
That's huge.
Especially where you guys are working from a different end of the boat.
Right.
You don't have to have all your stomp switches everywhere. And they're also, if you get into the brakes, which y'all will probably end up with brakes soon, it'll go down in increments. So you can just dip your brakes and not have to go all the way down.
Oh, that's cool there. So, it's like me, I run the paddles, when I'm on a lake, and it eliminates the need of a drill socket. It really slows the boat down. Works great for me. And this way you're talking, man, if I'm on the front of the boat and all of a sudden I need to power pole down, I can do it right there. If I don't have a remote on me, man, I've got access to whatever I need, wherever I'm at in this boat. And that's critical when you're on the water, especially if you're by yourself or anything, being able to do what you need anywhere on this boat.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and it makes it all handy, and it's just a tap back and you're out of the way. And this is something, too, that I've noticed over talking to a few people around that's come and looked at the boat. They're wondering how they find their fish on the bottom. And so we've been showing them some of the different options. And, we've got bottom fill on right now.
Right.
So that helps you to determine what your difference in fish and bottom or something more organic.
I can see this right now. You know, when those fish are buried up in the mud, and you can see this bottom,
Yeah.
that fish is going to show up that little hump, and you're like, there he is.
Yep.
You know, that's big.
Yeah. And we're seeing on my crappie guys a 64th ounce Popeye at 55 feet.
Oh, wow.
So a 60-pound catfish ought to look like a truck tire coming down through there. So we're hoping that maybe you can get out as far as 150 feet and start scanning.
Start looking.
And help with boat position.
Right.
Things like that.
That's critical, man. If you're off just a little bit and you're sitting there and that fish is not wanting to move, say he's lethargic and just not wanting to bite, and like, hey, I'm just that far off. Let me slide over just a little bit, cast a few baits around him, see if I can get him to bite.
Yep. And, you know, even with the front live scope now, maybe you can come up in down from them, throw up, and as you bring it back and see the reaction.
See it, yeah. See that reaction bite.
Exactly. And they're pointing a different direction from you, so you're not even spooking them.
You got these brushless trolling motors. He's in there quiet, especially when they're up shallow. Now you can see it, see the fish, stay back, pole down with your unit, and cast some rods. Hey,
we've been adding a product called the Visualizer too, that boosts the voltage to the box, and we're noticing that we can use live scope now in 5 foot of water.
Oh wow!
So we're taking them and kicking them up, and we're shooting. You know, that beam it operates like this.
Right.
So the upper edges and lower edges you can't use because they fuzz out.
Right.
So we get that and shoot that bad spot out, and we really use that meat of that beam in that 6 foot of water.
Man,
it's
game changer.
Awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm anxious to add that in. It's something the bass guys have been doing for a while. So, yeah, I think that'll be a pretty good option. We can all learn from each other. You know, it's you see something another discipline's doing, and you think, oh, well, I can do something very similar here, just to my style. So, but yeah, you know, and he's running his live scope back here. So he's got front and rears. These are really adjustable. Cornfield makes an awesome product. And that the mounting, I really like this setup. This is a lot of times we'll get questions too. What should I use? And I'm like, I tell them it's kind of like shoes. You know, you can wear anybody's shoes, but are you going to be comfortable? You got to find your own shoes. What you like? Yeah.
Several guys taught me back when I first started. And one guy had great advice. He said, take a little bit from everyone and make it your own.
Yeah.
And that was right. But you can go see what people are doing, go see how they're adapting, and put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
So if it's like you say, shoes, whatever works, whatever's comfortable, use that.
Yeah. Well, you know, you've probably seen all this stuff we got. It's not running on its own.
Right.
So
that big storage compartment back there.
Yeah. This thing goes all the way across. I was loving it when we were rigging this because it gives so much room in here.
You can do what you need to do. You got all the room.
I'm a short guy. I could live in that, you know. So we've got 250 amp hour lithium batteries from ProGuide.
Right.
Love these batteries.
Yeah.
These are the only lithiums I'll sell.
Yeah, I've been running them, you know, a year or a couple of years now, and man, run them all day long, heavy Mississippi River current, and I hadn't had a bit of trouble with them. And they charge quickly, don't take a long time. I've never run them down.
Yeah, it's I really like this setup too because he's got a battery he's got a dedicated battery just for the motor.
Right.
So you're not going to run down.
Yeah, same thing I do. I want my motor sitting over there by itself, and I want to be able to go. And if I had an emergency, I can always hook another battery up to it. Something went dead, I'm gone. Yeah. Yeah.
So on the other side, he's got something very similar, but he's running 350 amp hours for over there. And those are running his trolling motor. Right. So super great setup, man. I was so excited when he called me about what he wanted to do.
Right.
Because you don't always find somebody wanting to do something super trick like this. But when they do. I mean, this is our thing. I love this.
Yeah, it's so nice and clean, easy to get the wire, and it's just clean.
Yeah, thank you. And then, we did some other stuff too, because he said he uses the boat for his family too.
Right.
So we went through and we made everything modular. So you give it 30 minutes, you can strip the boat off.
Right.
You can get rid of the big screen. You can take the live scope completely off.
Right.
You don't have to store it. It's not down in there. We did some pass-throughs where you can pull all the wiring out. You can shove the other wiring back in. The kids aren't tripping over it.
Right. That's pretty awesome.
And same thing up front. So you'll have just a few little mounts that stay on, but everything else, the meat of it all, you can take off.
Wow. So you can go from fishing to pleasure just like that.
And the boats are so versatile. Why limit them with your install?
Right.
So, a little thought ahead of time, and you can have just an awesome all-around boat.
So if Mama wants a boat to play in, Daddy wants a boat to fish in, we can set it up and do it. I mean,
you can lay out across the back here. You got the stereo going. You got a fridge.
Right.
You can do about anything you want to do.
Right.
Link in with your phone to one of the graphs and play TV on here. You can watch the ball game.
Watch the ball game.
So there's a lot of stuff you can do with this.
Yeah.
If you just, you
work
through it.
Right. And you guys have got enough suggestions. You've been doing it long enough that someone can get a hold of you real quick and you can walk them through. Like somebody really don't know what they can do with a boat. You'd be a great asset to help them. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not tech guy on that kind of stuff,
Well, we like to work through with that, and that's what we really enjoy is when somebody comes. When they come and they already know everything, they're kind of hard to deal with. But when they come in and they're like, "Hey, can you show me?"
Right.
I love that. It's so fun.
Yeah, this is what I got. What can we do with it? There you go.
Yeah. And just a lot of it's little stuff that like, hey, if you do this, this will work.
Right.
And
those little things, man. It's just those little things.
It is. And just, little things like we were talking about, turning the bottom fill on.
Right.
A lot of your bass fishermen don't use that. Your crappie guys, now they'll use it. But I see where it could be very, very important for you all.
That's huge. That's really huge.
What turned me onto it was one of my guides down at Dale Hollow. He uses it for sauger.
Oh, yeah.
And when I heard that, and then I was talking with Alex, I was like, yeah. That bottom fill's going to be the thing for you guys.
Right. Sauger fishing, bumping that jig with the minnow on the bottom and see that little fish stuck to the bottom.
Yeah. And it helped him with especially placement and how the fish is positioned.
Oh, yeah.
And once you spend some time behind the screens of them, you start to learn what they look like, and you can judge the sizes.
Right.
And, with the grid work, it's really going to help you see what you're looking at.
Right.
Okay.
Man, I tell you what, that's pretty amazing stuff. It's it just blows my mind what all you can do with this stuff. And I mean, I'm learning more and more each month. It seems like obviously with what y'all are throwing out here and what we were able to do in the fishing world, even from that to the folks we just signed up with Chaos Divers that go out every day and just do this. There's some really crazy things out there. So let's say somebody wants to reach out and get in touch with you on how to do this on their boat. What do they do? How can they get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with us through any of our social media. It's HammerHead Sonar on Facebook, on Instagram. Our webpage should be up in a week or so.
Okay.
We've been kind of working on it and tweaking it the way we want it.
Good deal.
You can call me at 859-771-2051.
Okay.
We're a small business. We do pretty much custom work. And I love a good challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And just talking with you today, it's in an industry like this with so much knowledge here. I mean, I'm going to talk you up. I mean, you're phenomenal at what you do, but with so much knowledge here, reach out. I mean, he will give you the rundown. You can tell he's extremely passionate about it, does a really good job with it, and he's fixed us up here. We've got a phenomenal rig here that Alex is pushing out, and we've just got some really cool stuff. So thanks a lot, man. We really appreciate you taking the time to come out and explain.
Thank you all. Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to just kind of
thank everybody that's been following us today. Everybody that stopped by the booth, everybody that stopped by getting clothes, hats, supporting us. We've got the best. Y'all are the most phenomenal followers and the most phenomenal customers that we can ever dream of. So thank you for everything that you do for us, as we do as much as we can do for you all. Another reminder, we have registration for the owners tournament, the catfish tournament coming up in April. We still have registration coming up for the owners tournament, the crappie owners tournament that's going to be on Truman Lake, Missouri. Go to our Facebook page, look at the events. The links for both of those are on there. We're going to be doing multiple posts, amping that up because we want to get as many of you out. Again, if y'all didn't see the stories and all the different things we've got out there, we've got a ton of photos of this Pro Cat over here that we're giving away in April. That thing's a beast. I don't know if you've had a chance to get through the thing. It's unbelievable. And we're also, again, at our first annual Owners Crappie Tournament on Truman Lake, Missouri in May. We're giving away a brand new Flex 19. Go ahead and get signed up. SeaArk Owners Invitational. It's going to be phenomenal. We always have a great time. Again, y'all, this has been a very successful catfish and crappie conference. We've had thousands of people come through, and thank you all very much. We really appreciate y'all coming out. And man, again, thank you. You've been phenomenal.
Speaking of that flex, we did Chris Mann's flex.
Oh yeah, yeah, y'all did a great job.
I'm telling you, hey, you all listened.
Yeah,
you listened to everything everybody said. There's so much. It was so easy to rig. It was
good to hear.
Perfect.
Well, man, that's exactly what we want to hear, and we're along those lines in every boat we create. We're making it easier and easier to rig. We're making it easier for your electronics, this and that, and we're listening. So thanks a lot for that. We really appreciate that. But come and check us out. We'll be here a little bit longer. So if you're around, come holler at us. We got a few more clothes left, and we'll see you at the owners tournament. If y'all need anything, holler. Thanks a lot, y'all. Thanks again, man.
Hey, thank you.
Absolutely, man. Cool.